Alright, reaction video. I didn't actually think I'd end up doing this for fucking Magi. But God damn. God. Season 2, episode 6. That was some shit. That was some shit. And a lot of it was hinted and built up to, and they just said, fuck everything in this episode. Oh my, it's one of those reaction videos that nothing really ridiculous happens to that level. Well, nothing really ridiculous happens. But if you're a Naruto fan, you got some Naruto feels from this episode, particularly just because of the shit that happens at the end. All I'm gonna say is Hakuryuu, I'm not gonna pronounce his name right. Hakuryuu does not give a fuck. He does not give a flying fuck at all in this episode. God. First off, we get to see his half-ass, well, his half-done Jin equip, which is kind of funny that Alibaba can still beat that thing without really trying. Which then brings up the question, is he really stronger than Alibaba? Like, because they kind of played off as if Alibaba is like the weakest character with the because he's the one who knows the least with his Jin equipped. Yet, Alibaba could beat Hakuryuu in a half-ass full body equipped without really doing much. I don't know, I think it's because Alibaba's more of a powerhouse character, that's probably why, whereas Hakuryuu is more of the tactician type. Plus that he was on his whole mother rage, which, that was some interesting shit we got for his character, that the person he needs to kill isn't even really anyone from the Ko-Empire, much so from his own family. Pretty much, and from what I understand, it sounds like she sold out some of her family to save the rest of her family. Granted, we don't know this, but that's the way it looks, because when they kept doing the flashbacks with him and his mom was kind of in this first off, his mom was a condescending bitch. You told a 5-year-old, see, you really can't do anything, can you? What mother says that to her son? That's a bitch move. He's like 5, and he like, what the fuck? Like, that's such a dick move. But his goal right now is to kill his mother, essentially. Which, I believe he has 2 other sisters. I know one of them is, because his brothers are dead, and someone explained it, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I recall right, both his brothers are dead. We have the sister that we haven't seen since season 1. I'm kind of waiting for her to show back up again, by the way. I'm pretty sure the red-haired chick is not his sister. They are part of the same family, but she comes from she's like him. She comes from like a lower end. No, I mean, if this is based off of the Arabian Nights, his dad, that whole Ko-Empire probably has like 6 or 7 different families inside of it, and he and her are probably from 2 different types of families. But that's not really the point. It's that him killing Masasudra, I believe is her name. That was probably the what the fuck moment that everyone was just like, yo, Hakuryuu, chill out, bro. What the fuck? Cause he went off. And then what killed me is like when I forget the little boy's name. I think it's like Orba. Orba comes in and tries to kill him, and he just crushes him and all the little kids, just talking on them like bitches. And I was like, wow, Hakuryuu, you don't give a fuck. Hakuryuu doesn't give a fuck. And I was like, well, I mean, at least we understand where he's coming from with the Masudra thing with his mom. I guess it would make sense. It's like, I'm still thinking of my mom, and I'm still slightly delirious, which is probably why I killed her. And it's like, why is that? It's like, because I had to kill my mom. It's like, oh, shit. But if that wasn't enough, now we know there's been kind of this gag between Hakuryuu and Morgiana about how there's a possible crush or thing in between them. Granted, that's been hinted with Alibaba a few times too. More particularly with Hakuryuu, because Hakuryuu, you kind of see, they both have things for Morgiana, which I thought was kind of funny that it went into the same shit. And then this motherfucker confesses to Morgiana and then kisses her. And I'm just like, you really don't give a fuck right now. Like, yo, son, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Also, I guess as a side note, we should bring up which side of that pairing war you want, Alibaba x Morgiana or Hakuryuu x Morgiana. I'm gonna say Alibaba x Morgiana because I like, for one, I don't know why, I just find that one cuter, and there's more of a connection with those two anyway, especially with the fact that she technically is rocking a household vessel from him. Like, you can tell season 1 was kind of just trying to get them onto a stable ground, and now they're gonna really start becoming their own people with this season, and they're gonna have to go find themselves first, and then come back with a fresh new mindset of how to deal with things. Because if anyone's noticed for season 2 so far, Sinbad is on that chess game shit. Like, having a Magi, Morgiana, and Alibaba in his corner just fucking sets him up beautifully. Particularly Alibaba and Aladdin. And I feel like Aladdin kind of is starting to pick up on that, and it's like, we need to get out and make sure we want to do some shit like that, because they're starting to be included into as if they're a part of Syndra without actually making that distinct choice for themselves and knowing what the world has to offer. That's why I'm just kind of like, you can tell what this arc is about. I also like this episode because this episode makes a clear distinction of the kind of personalities Hakuryuu and Alibaba are, which is that Alibaba is that kind of sympathizing king, that king that understands. He's not one of those bitch kings that's like, oh, I can save everyone, but he's that kind of king where he's like, yo, you gotta look at the big picture. Like, Hakuryuu just trash talk the shit out of him. Like, the best way to describe it is like the Sasuke Naruto mentality without being as ridiculous. Like, Alibaba's a lot more. Don't take this as an insult for Alibaba, but he's more like quote-unquote bitch-made. Like, he's the type of dude who, he's like the crying king. That's the best way to describe him. He's the king who will get on his knees and humble himself for the sake of others. Not saying Hakuryuu doesn't have a quality to that, but Hakuryuu mindset is going to get fucked over with this whole killing his mother thing, which is that whole idea of do not kill for vengeance. It's literally the Naruto ideal being just put in Magi. It's like, this episode really solidified that, and you can see the difference, especially with the whole difference between the Black Ryuk and the Light Ryuk that showed up during the respective scenes, like how Hakuryuu mind fucked them, Dark Ryuk everywhere. Then Alibaba went through the efforts to try to get them to relate to each other, try to get them to connect in terms of hearts, and try to not let them go down a really dark and depressing path of how pretty much Cashin went down. And then he even makes the reference like, dude, you're like Cashin. He's like, we can't do this shit. The only other part I think that's still ambiguous and we don't understand yet is what was Morgiana's reason for refusing him? Because originally we don't get to see what she said. She only says how it made her happy because the guy's never told her that before, and she feels really good and she feels happy about that. And then we don't get to hear the but. I figured the but had something to do with the whole situation that just happened before. But we don't know Morgiana's real reason for turning him down. And it also brings up the question, does she have romantic feelings for Alibaba? Because Morgiana's like emotionally kind of dead. Like, Morgiana's feelings are purely just, you know, basic emotions. She's happy, she's sad. She never really goes into that whole love side of things. Like, you can tell Alibaba and Hakuryuu had crushes on her. I don't know if it's the other way around, because she hasn't shown anything to prove that. But I am legitimately curious, because the way I'm pretty sure this is how it's going to work, is that they're going to have to go through an arc where they have to fight Hakuryuu. We already know that's coming. But on top of that, Morgiana might end up triggering another part of that, which will turn into an Alibaba Hakuryuu fight where it's like, yo, my woman, yo, not my woman. Like, she may say something where she's like indebted to Alibaba and Aladdin, and Hakuryuu takes that the wrong way. And it's kind of weird because they're not living on like horrible terms, but they're living on not great terms. It's probably like a weird, like that whole scene with Aladdin and Hakuryuu at the end was like, you're not living on horrible terms, but at the same time, you're not leaving on great terms. And I also like the whole reference he made about how he felt like he truly made friends. Which, once again, I got Sasuke and Naruto flashbacks with that shit. Granted, this won't go out the same way, because, let's be honest with you, fucking Magi does not give a fuck sometimes. And its presentation will trick the shit out of you a lot. I'll put it that way. But that episode, son, what the fuck? I am in legit shock. That mind fucked me. It was like, all I have to say, Hakuryuu didn't give a fuck. Hakuryuu didn't even fuck. He didn't give a fuck. I will leave 2 links in the description to watch it. Crunchyroll is streaming it, and also Daisuki, which some of you guys may not know, is like a new-ish streaming site. And guess what? All the streams on that bitch is free, so you can just watch it whatever. So I'll leave that in the description too. Please leave your thoughts and comments, man. That Hakuryuu, this is gonna be. This is a good setup. We had episode 6, son. We got like at least another 20 episodes maybe left. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Also, the preview show, Alibaba feeding Mochi and the fish. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Vlogs again for your boy Terrell. I'm going to go play me some Wind Waker HD and try not to pass out. And I might do some breeding for Pokemon X and Y. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace!